You know, people come to Eureka and they never come back. Some of them see the concentration of poverty in our neighborhood, rundown housing. Some of them are deterred by the traffic. Some of them are scared off by little criminal incidents that happen. But what we need to do is make Eureka work for the Eurekans. Make our neighborhoods function. Clean them up. Get the stuff off the streets. Plant. You know, take away some asphalt and concrete. Make the city livable. You make the city livable for the people that live here, and others will come. So, trying to just say that it's the police who have to do more work. We need more police. We have to get rid of the homeless. Eureka could be a city that people come to and say, oh, they have a lot of homeless in Eureka, but they sure do take good care of them. Now, wouldn't that be a good image for us? You go to San Francisco in the Tenderloin, they've got the Hilton right next to the shelters, and then comes the Cliff Hotel and shelters. You don't have people ruining big business or little businesses by having homeless facilities. Those people are being taken care of and helped back on the street. Showing that we're proud for the beautiful Bay Edge location that we have, the trails that we're building along the Bay Edge, our fine restaurants, our coffee shops, our bookstores, our thrift stores, and our 2 big health food supermarkets. We're proud of our farmers markets and our music venues in Humboldt. We are proud to join with the other towns of Humboldt in the kinetic sculpture race and numerous other activities. We are proud of our historic architecture. We are proud of our rain and our cool climate and our lush green gulches and our rhododendrons and our expanding green areas, and we need more. We are proud of our neighborhoods. Beyond being proud, we need to strive for excellence. And I got this concept out of the slow cities, striving for excellence. Where we have neglected, where we have blight, we need to find the causes and make it right. We need to look at those community development block grant funds, find out where they're going. Why do we keep having the same blighted areas being listed as blighted and get more money to fix them? And where is the money going? We need to get the city to close up houses that are filthy, deteriorated, and dangerous, and take them over, fix them up. A lot of those houses are little treasures. Some of them are big treasures, and they could be sold as luxury residences, and the neighborhood improved, and the proceeds could go to build affordable housing or rehab housing in scattered locations throughout the city instead of over-concentration in West Berkeley and downtown. Over-concentration is not something that is permitted under state law. It's frowned on, and yet that's what we have. That's one of the things that's causing the police department to go broke, and the fire department to respond to all the calls in care homes where they're not allowed to give medical care. But they've got people in there who need medical care. So some of these things are enforcement issues, and they need to be taken care of. Anyway, I don't know if you want to hear all of the things that I want to do. I've got ideas, and I have a site that I'm doing position papers. The first one is going to be about homeless and the neighborhoods and affordable housing, and probably the second one will be about transportation. I see those two as really big issues, but the other ones are going to be, just to give you an idea, about conservation of resources. You know, we have these extractive resources that are historical here. The lumber, the fish, the gravel. Just take that stuff out of the earth and use it up. And I feel like the homeless and poor people are being used as an extractive resource to provide jobs. I think we need to rethink that. I read recently that Humboldt used to be self-sufficient. They grew all their own lumber and agriculture and fish, enough to sustain themselves and be really remote and not need to bring it in from anywhere else. We're bringing in all kinds of food, and we're taking out all kinds of lumber and fish and beef and flowers and milk, and shipping it around the world. This is a certain kind of economy that I don't understand, because it really rips off your resources, it destroys your land, it pollutes your rivers, and why don't we just take care of ourselves and be self-sufficient again? So I hope you'll look at our website, XandraManns.com, and see what I'm about in a little more detail. It'll hook you up to my blog, and call me or let me know you want to talk to me anytime, and I'd love to meet with you. And I certainly will listen to anybody's ideas and feedback, and I would really encourage you to participate in government and demand to participate, not just to be heard. Thank you. So also, I'd be happy to talk to anybody who wants to stick around and ask questions or whatever.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Zandy. Good
Hi.
luck.
Thanks for coming.
I just.
You probably just.
I did.
But I know, I was thinking about calling you, and I thought, I don't know if I should call City Hall people.
Sandy, you're articulating a lot of things that other candidates aren't going to even want to address.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thanks.
One thing I'm not sure I asked you in our interview is Measure O, the sales tax. Do you have like a firm position on that? What do you say?
I think anything that attacks the population locally across the board needs to be really carefully handled, and I don't think that a percentage sale tax is a good idea, because it's going to hit poor people harder than rich people.
What kind of ideas do you have for economic sustainability, since you were talking about that? And you were also talking about your concerns about big box and factories. So what alternatives do you see as viable to the economy?
Well, I think there's all kinds of small businesses, retail and service. I think there's a lot of service industries, like bicycle repair shops, commercial kitchen. I think that working out of your home in food industry is good. I know people who want to sell cookies, who want to sell food by special order or at fairs, who have to go all the way to Jontoli Road to do their work. And if you buy a restaurant here, well, that's another problem, yeah. So I actually have a whole list of little industries that I put together for Peter Lavalle about 5 years ago, and I have it in my notebook. I could give you a copy of it. But there's things like handmade clothing. They use these in the slow cities. And people said, oh, nobody's going to buy those handmade clothes except the tourists. Well, guess what? The people in the town liked the handmade clothes better than the machine-made ones, and pretty soon they had a growing business there. People like homemade foods, bakeries, little things like that. We have some really nice little industries here. I mean, little businesses, yoga studios, Pilates studios. There's all kinds of stuff. There's an interesting lady on the waterfront who has a sewing shop, and she teaches people how to sew. So people are picking up on this stuff, but it's a little costly getting started. And I think that there's a big market for architectural salvage. Like, I have several friends who store these things in their houses. Mm-hmm. Old windows, old moldings, and there could be several locations right in Old Town where you could pick up that stuff. I mean, sort of like Restoration Hardware was supposed to be originally, right. But it got to be kind of different. Let's see, there's just endless list. My son has his own business selling native plants. He came up with that on his own, and my other son works as a writer on the internet. But I mean, there's caring for lawns. People are getting more interested in landscaping, but they don't have the time to do it. Another thing is you can take tourists on hikes. You can show them Humboldt. A friend of mine does that in the tourist's car. You know, she just signs up and goes and shows them around. I don't think it's a good idea to let buildings vacant. I mean, I think we should always be aware of how many buildings are vacant and see if we can do something with them, because we just end up building more buildings and using up more land because people need places to live. And I think that our community development money should be available for people who want to rehab these old places. When I worked in Alameda, it was just going on all the time. Rehab. And they sometimes rehab them into luxury big buildings, single-family homes, but occasionally they would also divide them up into apartments that were really nice. But the appearance on the street was great, and as a result, people were proud of their neighborhoods, and you didn't just get a lot of bad happenings there. I think people's attitudes about their neighborhoods really affects what happens there.
So, Monty, what brings you out here to support your mom?
I gotta come out to support my mom, but I think she's probably definitely the best candidate for the job just because of what she believes in, environmental things, and public transportation, walkability. She likes creating healthy, livable cities, and that's what I want to live in, is a healthy, livable, beautiful city.
She is the most qualified person for the job. She has 30 years experience in city planning. She does not belong to any particular group. She is not going to be influenced by people because they went to high school with her or they're in business with her. So she has the tenacity to do the project, and she will not fold to other people's will. She'll do what's best for this city.
So, Ms. White, what brings you out here in support of Xandra Manns for City Council?
Well, wait, stop. Because of her qualifications and her caring for the neighborhoods and her knowledge of historic architecture.